bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Don't talk right now. Within minute, within second.
Okay.
अटकेगा second. Welcome to today's America. This is Millennium News 24/7. This is Tofader Noor from our American studio. Viewers, we have a special guest today from Turkey, Izmir, Dr. Mehmet. So he is the psychologist, PTSD and depression. So many things we have our life. He gonna be explained, and what we have to do, he gonna tell us, our viewer today. Also, we have our co-host, Todd Goldfinger. Dr. Mehmet and Todd, both of you, welcome to Millennium News 24/7. Dr. Mehmet, please introduce yourself, our viewers.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello to everybody. I live in Izmir. I'm from Turkey. I'm a psychiatrist. I am a medical doctor. Also, I study with several psychotherapists since 2007, about 7, 8. The most favorite psychotherapy which I study is EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy, about 12 years, and last 4 years with EMDR therapy. With my 2 colleagues, we study with virtual reality therapy. EMDR therapy is a trauma therapy. We have lots of psychological traumas in our lives, and we live with these psychological traumas, and these psychological traumas affect our lives. So we try to treat these traumas, and by this way we try to increase the life quality of the people in our city in Turkey.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Todd, please introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Todd Goldfinger, and I feel very honored that we have Dr. Mehmet Oguz on the show today, talking about EMDR therapy to treat PTSD. Now, this is something that a lot of veterans have, a lot of people who have been in war, people who have been traumatized, people who have been abused, people who have, even COVID, I've heard people having PTSD from having to live with their abusers and things like that. So I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And what I think is so fascinating about Dr. Mehmet's work is that it's an alternative to prescription medication, which is often pushed by the pharmaceutical movement of the West, let's say. Thank you, Dr. Mehmet, for being on the show. This is great.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Doctor. First of all, viewers, we're going to talk about little bit Eastern Europe, Ukraine, and Russia. These days, world community, our politicians, they are doing nothing. They just supplying arms, ammunition, selling arms, ammunition. And Russia bombing every single day, every single cities in Ukraine. Millions of people in refugee surrounding country, Moldova, Hungary, Romania, Poland. So many people coming to Germany too. Viewers, it's shameful. Our politicians, they are not doing anything for as a human being. They just doing business. Everyone we knows how to do the business. In America, we never help anybody. So-called we are capitalism. As a truth, we show the people in the world we are number one democracy and democratic country. And we are pushing for democracy. Same time, we are selling our tank, our fighter jet, and our arms and ammunition. Dr. Mehmet, you can tell us how is the Turkish people think about it and how is world think about it in Ukraine matter. You can tell us something?
Okay, first of all, let's look at the wars as by a psychological approach. In last 100 years, the human became more narcissistic collectively in all over the world, because also we see this in World War One, the Second World War, and maybe in the near future, maybe the Third World War. We don't know. This started with the narcissistic structural high ego of the people collectively in all over the world. So we live today in Ukraine or in Russia or in all over the world this narcissistic, collective narcissistic war or fight between the people, because we look at, or the human being look at the events being right or being guilty, but this doesn't solve the problem. The problem is as a human being, or as human beings forget the love, we have forgotten the nature, the other, not only people, all living animals, plants, all the other things. This is the major problem in the world. By time, the difference between the 90s and today is the number of the people increased in the world, and the economical sources decreased, and in today's world only we live with our frightenings and fears. But as if we look at the reality, the fear or that fear, fearing of that is like a major obsession in a narcissistic personality in the world. So by the that fear, obsession, we kill each other.
That's
This
true.
is the major problem.
That's
By
true.
being fixated on it.
But
By being fixated on it.
yes, and the major problem is, the other problem is, the human being years ago forgotten the law and detached himself or herself, themselves, from the nature, the other living animals, plants, or etc. So, by this way, if we don't learn loving again, always look at the events being right or being guilty. This is the major problem.
Yes, doctor, you are 100% right. You know, millions of people now they have a trauma, psychologist trauma. You know, same thing happened.
Yeah.
Same thing happened Syrian people. Same thing happened Libyan people and Yemeni people. So whole of the world, majority of the world, we are fighting for our power and our own interest. Have to be stopped. Otherwise, we are destroying our planet. Todd, floor is yours.
Well, I think what Dr. Mehmet is saying is very crucial for everyone to hear. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please go back and listen to it again, to what Dr. Mehmet said about nature, plants, animals, respect for nature, also returning to nature in a way, and loving each other, not just ourselves, to the point of fear of death. This neuroses, which was taken out of the DSM. They took neuroses out of the DSM, and I wanted to ask Dr. Mehmet, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this neuroses? What is it? This fear of death, or being pulled towards this death urge? Thank you.
DSM?
In the DSM, they don't have neuroses. They took it out of the DSM.
Yes.
The manual, right?
Okay. If you look at the perspective of psychiatry, again, I can say that the psychiatry by time go away from psychoanalysis and classified the psychological problems like this will be like this will be like this. That means capitalism in the world, the last the last century, the capitalism in the world make all people like the or made feel all people like the robots produced in the factories. The psychiatry also by DSM looked at the psychological problems like only a diagnosis. It was a very wrong approach because, for example, I have a depression and also Todd has a depression, but the depression of Todd and the depression of mine is very, very different. So we can't put this only one thing. So by the support of the companies, some drug companies, the other companies, psychiatric disorders, especially for 60, 70 years in the world, was only treated by the drugs, they said. This was the major problem. We have forgotten the Freud, we have forgotten the Jung, we have forgotten Lacan, we have forgotten the other psychoanalysts, Eric Fromm, etc. But some of psychiatrists, very, very low amount of psychiatrists in the world. I am the one of them. I tried in our country, one of them. Trying to connect psychoanalysis, psychodynamic psychiatry, EMDR therapy, virtual reality therapy, all of them, because the human is not only factory element. We are not a cell phone. We have senses. Yeah.
Very good. Please, Doctor and Todd, stay with us. We are going to short break. Viewers, please stay with us.
Okay.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, welcome to today's America again. Today we have our doctor from Izmir, Turkey. He is the specialist for trauma, psychiatric, PTSD, so many things. And we are talking about these things today. What is going on in the world, like Ukraine, millions of people, they have a psychiatric problem now and trauma. How we can stop these things? Same thing in Syria. Millions of people right now in Turkish land, also some part of Jordan, Libya, same thing. People in Egypt or Mali, same thing. Our Yemen people right now is in African continental, Sudan, Ethiopia, some other countries. And Palestine is lifelong hell. So what as a human we have to do? We're going to support these things or we're going to stop these things? Our lobbyists, our politicians, our leaders in the world, and so-called United Nations, they don't have any voice. They don't have nothing. And so-called NATO, European Union, everyone making money, business for human shield. As a human being, this planet, they are destroying everything. As a human nature, also climate. Viewers, right now, Russia bombing plastic bomb, they also bombing Ukrainian nuclear plant. Also, some all residential house they destroying. But of course, Russia have some connection with some other countries like China, India, Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, or African nations. They have to stop this violence. Innocent people is dying. So, Todd, floor is yours if you're going to explain or if you like to say something regarding Ukraine issue.
I would like to hear what Dr. Mehmet has to say on the issue.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's go back a little further. Pandemics. Everything started with the pandemics. But now I'm a psychiatrist and a therapist, so I see the positive benefits of these negative events also. I want to tell about this. Pandemics was a terrible event, but this had its beneficial sides also. Because till pandemics, no one felt the countries you mentioned until the pandemics. By the pandemics, by the fear of that, some of us felt the other people in the Africa, in the Asia, or the other parts of the world. This was the first narcissistic frustration of the human being. So, if you look at this perspective, maybe the pandemics is and maybe we can do something by this narcissistic frustration and the new learnings. Now the cause is going on with the wars. We entered a chaotic period. In this chaotic period, we learned also the money can't buy everything. This is a very, very important lesson for us. So, we learned that knowledge, respect for other living things, connecting with nature, and taking responsibility have become very important all over the world. And in psychological perspective, we see this. Before, we were very splitted, and this is American, this is Russian, this is African. Today, after pandemics, we are all human beings, and we must love each other because we live each other, and also we must love the nature because we live with nature. I want to tell this.
We are the nature.
That's right. You know, doctor, your neighbor, Syria, Iraq, you saw your eyes. So many people have a trauma, psychological problem, PTSD. Who make it these things? Our politician, our leader, why they do not understood these things? What is the reason? For the power or for the religious? This is religious fight or this is just for the power? Do you have any idea, doctor?
Yes. In the last century, by the most important thing is the perception games, manipulations. We all say the guilty or the responsibilities in the leaders or in the responsibilities that people, but all of us are responsible today for these terrible events because we select these leaders.
That's right.
For example, we select them. For example, I can't be a problem in Syrian people, or I can't be a problem. I can't have a problem with a Greek people, but Greek politicians or our politicians, or the American politicians or the Russian politicians, and the people, not only politicians, the other academicians or the other people in this game, in this manipulation game, manipulate all the people. But if we were true lovers, this wouldn't be.
You know, doctor,
In the last century, we forgot the true love, loving each other, the other living things, the money, the cars, everything was very important. in the last century, but most important was ourselves. We have forgotten, again I say, if we look at the perspective of psychiatry, we have forgotten the Freud's, Jung's, Eric Fromm's, and we have forgotten the world wars. The population, I say, not the politicians. And the best car, the best house, the best country, the best academic career, etc. But we didn't discuss the best human being, the true lover, the best true lover. We didn't talk this. Today we talk this. So I am hopeful.
That's true. You know, doctor, God or Allah, whatever we call, one person. He make us on this earth for peace, love, and happiness. And He sent His messenger part by part. But all messenger is, respectable. All religious is respectable, honorable, for as a human path. But our European friends and American friends these days is double standard. We are supporting 100% our brother and sister Ukrainian. We don't care they are religious, they are, whatever their path, we do not care. We care as a human. But same NATO, European Union and America, they do not support our Middle Eastern countries. They are destroying. They are never building. So millions of people, they are, out of the country or out of their properties, their houses. Everyone have a mental trauma. How we can stop these things, doctor? People gonna get mad, everything. People gonna be dying with this mental health and this trauma. Do you have any idea what as a human we can do? Not our government.
Okay, I think you asked about leave. For the centuries, they described or taught us God belief wrong. They described us God who punishes, not God who loves. This was the other part of the manipulation game. So, by this way, they split, or the population splitted the countries, the beliefs, very a lot of beliefs. So by splitting the people, or people splitted, again we come. That's my God is true, your God is wrong. But the reality is one. Only one reality.
Yeah.
So
Collective reality.
collective reality.
Exactly.
So by this way, the money and by beliefs, by wrong beliefs, not only gut belief. For example, if anyone has much money, oh, that's good. Popular football player, yes, that's the superior one. We learned. These were wrong beliefs. Furthermore, not only human beings, we are not superior. The other creatures, the other living organisms, we are just different. The human being is superior by talking or describing the things. For example, a dog is superior by feelings than human being. A lot of examples I can give this.
Right, but we were able to build all these empires and also pyramids in different places. Cultures that had no knowledge of each other, building similar patterns and geometrical shapes, for example.
Yes. Yes. So we must also correct all those perspectives. But also we must be careful in this perception manipulations. For example, social media, the television channels, or etc. Everybody says, or every manipulator says, that's true, that's true, that's wrong. But there is one reality. This doesn't change.
I have a question for the doctor, if I may. What part does art play in human civilization, and where does it play today? How important is art today? March 6th, 2022. How important is art today?
Civilization?
In our civilization today, how important is art? The ART.
Art.
Yeah.
Science is very important, art is very important, or I can say literature is very important. I can say like this, by this perspective. In this world, always we live with that fear. Okay? That fear, yes.
Go ahead.
And our major motivation is desire for completion. Desire for completion.
Completion, to finish something.
Completion.
Completion?
Yes. For example, I complete myself by music and therapy. We complete ourselves by the shows. Somebody by the art, somebody by the music, somebody by literature, somebody
To fulfill ourselves.
Yes, feel ourselves. But the most important thing here is, if we prefer goodness, by time, we learn love, true love, and by time, we are more near to nature. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's true.
More closer by time, if goodness and by goodness, by
Loving
time,
acts. Oh, sorry.
yes. But if you doesn't prefer the goodness, the manipulations start. And first, we manipulate ourselves and then manipulate the other ones and detach more and more the nature. And this is a very terrible loop.
It's destructive.
So the human being again must learn true love.
That's right. Doctor and Todd, please stay with us. Viewers, we are going to short break. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Okay.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, we are back again. Today is America and Millennium News 24/7. We have our guest from Izmir, Turkey, Dr. Mehmet, and our co-host Goldfinger. Todd, floor is yours. Go ahead.
Great. I have a question for our guest today, Dr. Mehmet Oguz. I understood that you did some work with soldiers who had PTSD. Could you tell us a bit about that, please?
Okay. Thank you. After 2009, I started to study by the EMDR therapy, trauma therapy, in the soldiers, in the military hospitals. I was a personnel in the Turkish Air Force at that time. I saw a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder people. As you know, the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is an anxiety disorder caused by stressful, frightening, and distressing events. Today, you have asked me about the pandemics and also the wars, Ukraine-Russia war, and psychological effects. While I was studying with the soldiers with EMDR between 2009 and 2014, about 5 years in military hospitals, I've seen that the most by studying the traumas, it was very hard for me. Also, the traumatic person's family was more traumatic. Today, when I look at the wars in the world, some of them were dead, but most of them continue living, but the traumas of their fathers or their mothers or their sisters or their sons, etc. These traumas are very, very difficult traumas. Maybe I can give an example from my childhood. Turkey was an unstable country most of the years, 70s, for example, 1970s. I was born in 1975, and on 1980s, 12 September 1980, there had been a revolution, military revolution in Turkey. I was 5 years old. Before the revolution, I was 3-4 years old. Every day, I saw the deaths in the streets. As a child, maybe these traumas and my family's traumas made me a good psychiatrist. This is the advantage. But the other one, it was a very bad pain. We were suffering very bad, terrible pain for the years. So I can understand the people in the war, in the world. This is terrible because I lived a bit a revolution, for example, military revolution, and in the military hospital years later, when I was a psychiatrist, I was studying the soldiers, which soldiers going to Iraq and coming, going to Syria and coming, etc. And some of them for example, step on the mines in the borders.
The landmines.
No leg, no eyes, and we were studying with the EMDR. So that is very traumatic if you ask me today.
Yes.
About this perspective. Yes,
I understand.
Yes, I have become a good psychiatrist and I have experienced psychiatrists about these problems, but the other side of me, the human side, not the therapist part, the human part was full of suffering pains. This is very difficult. So we must be very careful while talking about the wars, commenting about the who is guilty or who is not guilty. There's a one life in this world, and there's a one world. We must be very careful. We must know. We must learn true love. This is not easy, but in the therapies I've seen, if we study the traumas, good, perfect, by time, by EMDR therapy, we can neutralize these traumas, and or the patient can sense the trauma like an experience by the time. At that time, after some time, the traumas become the doctor of the patient as an experience.
Interesting.
That's
After
right.
lots of therapies, I had lots of therapies before being a therapist, and by healing my traumas, I've been a good psychiatrist, for example, and I tried to learn, and still trying to learn true love. How can perfect love the world, not only the human beings, every organism in the world.
Yeah. Every war, every place, when people getting displaced, they have a lot of trauma. So many family, so many, family out of the country, displaced from the country, displaced from the house. So-called, right now, Russia started Ukraine, they call Ukrainian is Nancy. It's so bad. They are human being. Whatever they are human being. Todd and doctors, I grow up country called right now Bangladesh. If you, of course, doctor knows it was East Pakistan. 1971, my eyes, I saw millions of Bangladeshi get shelter, displaced from the country, out of the country, India. Pakistan started the war. United States support 100% Pakistan. That time, my eyes, I saw how many people displaced and died. This is shameful in the world. Same thing, you can see Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, right now Ethiopia, Somalia. What is going on? Why our world is not together? Why we cannot work together? What kind of business we need? Why we are killing the people, displace the people? What is the interest? This is the religious fight or power fight or muscle fight, doctor?
Yeah. All these words, very, very nonsense. But the responsible, everybody is responsible for this wars. So, I want to tell this. Manipulators don't stop these wars. Brave societies that love each other and the world prevent these wars. I want to say this. So, in all over the world, in all countries, we start to learn to love. For this, we must brave people first. Learning love, learning now needs bravery, courage. So we are waiting and Putin, stop the war. United States, stop the wars. Politicians, start the wars. Wait. 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 100 years. This will never end by waiting. The populations, brave populations, can stop these words.
That's 100%.
The individual.
Yeah. Todd and doctors. Doctors, our time almost end for today. Please tell our viewers your last word. Please.
Last words.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you for this show. Thank you. The last part is we all of us have responsibility to tell people around us we can stop the wars. We must brave. We must learn loving the other humans, the other living things, all living organisms, and loving the world. We who in the who are in the world knows the true love must learn near or next to the other friends, the other people, maybe in these screens, maybe neighbors, maybe the other platforms. So true love will rescue all of us.
Thank you.
And
Go ahead, doctor.
any manipulator, any bad person can't pass the true love. Nobody can pass this.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Please stay. Todd, this is your last thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. True love for humanity, right? True love for humanity, for our fellow brothers and sisters, for our plants, for our animals, for our earth, for our living, breathing earth. We need to understand and be there for the planet in the most delicate time that we've had in a very long time. Thank you for being. Thank you. Thank you.
Viewers,
Thank you.
thank you.
See you.
Viewers, our time almost end for today. You know, our doctors and our co-host, we are talking about today PTSD, mental health and trauma, psychological issues. This war making everything, you know, so many people displaced from their family, their house. Not only Ukraine, all over the world. But our politician and our people is divided. They have a double standard. So have to be stop these things. Have to be do fair games for all human beings. You guys, one Russian president destroying Ukraine. America, Arab Emirat, Saudi Arabia destroying Syria, Yemen, Libya. Through United States and Russia. Why we are doing this kind of horrible things have to be stopped. Viewers, whatever you are, please watch Millennium News 24/7, all iOS and Android device, also all smart TVs, Sony, Roku and LG, also Amazon and Apple TV. Also we are on Amazon Stick, Roku Stick. We are also locally we are on Radiant and Jadoo TV and Sky TV, whole Europe. Viewers, worldwide we are on Jago BD. And our social network address Millennium News 24/7, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Our YouTube channel, News Channel M24. Our website, millenniumnews24.com, also millenniumtv24.com. Our email address, info@millenniumtv24.com, and Today's America at millenniumtv24.com. Viewers, our colleague, friends, reporters, journalists, and editorial, everyone working round the clock, bring the news, views, talk show, editorial, and so many current affairs, so many things, only for you. We respect and honor our colleague and friends. Viewers, whatever you are, stay peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye and take care for today.